Okay, fun's over. So if you're one of those people like me who saw the trailer and thought, that's weird, it kind of looks like a piece of shit, but still wanted to see the movie just because it's Darren Aronofsky, all the while hoping that the trailer was just a way to trick the religious crowd into seeing the movie, and that secretly there was a movie worth watching that wasn't the same garbage you've already seen a million times before, well, wonder no more, because the movie was slightly worse than the trailer. I mean, you're already working with a flawed story to begin with. What happened to the kangaroos? Where do black people come from? And despite them making a lot of changes to the original story, it didn't really do them any good. Like, why is the grandfather a wizard? Anthony Hopkins had magical powers, and I had first assumed that they were kind of like God powers. Like God loves him so much that every time he really wants to do something, God's just allowing it and just doing a little magic trick for him. At one point, he puts a child to sleep by blowing on his face. Possibly the funniest point in the whole movie. Then later, he touches Emma Watson's previously infertile belly, making her instantly able to have children and also extremely horny. Like she was in the middle of looking for somebody, but she completely fucking dropped that and decided to have sex with her boyfriend. And then later in the movie, when Noah finds out, he gets super fucking pissed. No, not because they had sex, but because she is no longer infertile. He's like, God made you infertile, so when now that you're fertile, then you're going against God. I don't really feel bad about spoiling this movie because it's a giant piece of shit, but here's my spoiler alert anyway. Giving you like 2 more seconds. Go. God. He gets so pissed off that she's having children that he vows to murder the child as soon as it's born, but only if it's a girl. And they really did not do a good job explaining why that's the case. You're going against God by having children because you were previously infertile. Now I gotta murder your child, but if it's a boy, I don't really care. So does that mean the grandfather is a wizard whose magic operates completely independent of God? Because there's no way that he could possibly believe that it was against God's will if God was the one doing the magic from grandfather anyway. This movie does not make any fucking sense. There were a couple things that I did enjoy about the movie. There are some really cool time-lapse scenes that I enjoyed, and during one of them, Clint Mansell did a fantastic job with the score. But this movie has way too much weighing it down. Like during the last time-lapse scene in the movie, for whatever reason, it decided to show evolution. Like it showed the typical fish to lizard out of the ocean, etc. And then as soon as it hit primates, it just stopped. Like, sorry, we're not allowed to show you any further. And that scene served no purpose, so I have no clue why he decided to put that in the movie. Because aren't you then alienating the people that might actually enjoy the movie? Like, who the fuck is this movie even for? They also included giant rock creatures that helped Noah build the ark. Okay. Most of the conflict in the movie was not only extremely forced, but easily preventable. Like, all of a sudden somebody's angry and it's really difficult to understand why. Not only that, but the threat of the main villain and his army wouldn't even fucking exist if Noah flat out just didn't fucking tell him that the flood was going to happen. The guy thought you were building a fortress and you told him, no, it's a boat, so it's the flood, and I'm gonna be the one that lives and not you, Nanya. Hey Noah, you fucking hypocrite. What's that you were flipping your shit over, doing something against God's will? Oh my God, God didn't intend that. So Emma Watson's not allowed to use the grandfather wizard powers so she can become fertile and have children, and maybe, you know, repopulate the entire fucking planet through incest like you're supposed to. But you see no issue with warning the head honcho of bad guys that there's going to be a fucking great flood? Did God tell you to do that? Because God had the opportunity to tell him too, and you know what? He fucking didn't. How the fuck did the bad guy get in the ship? Like, there was just a quick shot of him falling into it, but I don't know where the fuck that was. So you've got Mr. Stereotype bad guy on the ship, and Noah's son helps him survive. And they're still on the ship about 9 months later, because Emma Watson winds up giving birth on the ship before the end of it. And holy shit, she does not act like the baby weighs anything at all. Seriously, it's like she had a fucking balloon under her shirt. So the bad guy picks a really convenient day to strike. They have a shitty close shot fight scene. And this whole time, this guy's like, I'm not afraid of miracles. Haha, fuck you, God. Like, clearly this guy does not understand how miracles work. And wow, the boat conveniently crashes in a way that turns out to be in Noah's favor. Thanks for the miracle, God. I mean, it would have been extremely easy for him to die when he was climbing into the boat in the first place. But let's just pretend that this God character not only rigs the outcome, but is also extremely concerned about making a stereotypical narrative. Like, why would I kill him when it makes the most sense if they don't get to have a fight scene by the end of it? There was nothing exceptional about this movie, and quite a lot of it was pretty fucking bad. Like, holy shit, those font choices were terrible. It's like if someone did a low-budget parody of Lord of the Rings. All of the CG was pretty fucking unconvincing. Like, yeah, obviously all the animals are gonna be CG, but why did you feel the need to computer animate the fucking baby? Oh no, I feel so scared for this computer animated baby right now. Literally, he goes up to her to kill it, and then he's like, change my mind, it's cute. And then later, Emma Watson's talking about it nonchalantly like, you know what? God trusted you with the choice to do it, and it wasn't something that he expected you to do. He just wanted you to make the choice. Well, that's a nice way to put it. Maybe you should have had this conversation with him at some point in the 9 fucking months before your child was born. And there's a scene near the beginning when Noah's talking to the rock dude. It keeps cutting back and forth from the rock dude's face to Noah's, but every time it cuts back to Noah, it's closer to his face. But instead of putting the camera closer each time or even using the zoom on the lens, they decided to go the easy way and just use fucking digital post-production zoom. Like, they seriously fucking cropped it. And each time it cuts back to his face, you see more and more pixels. Like, what the fuck? Aren't you supposed to be a professional? Well, it was at least exciting to see the outcome of what this movie would be. But about 5 minutes into the movie, when I was absolutely sure, all of a sudden the idea of finishing the movie seemed like kind of a chore. And a chore it was. Yes, parts of the movie were so bad that they were hilarious. Anthony Hopkins putting that kid to sleep by blowing on his face will be funny to me for quite some time. But it's just not worth it to sit through the whole movie just to laugh at a couple points. The majority of the dialogue could have been replaced by random gibberish and it would have had just as much purpose in the film. For whatever reason, Aronofsky just decided to make a really shitty movie. And sadly, it's probably going to be his most financially successful movie yet. Anyway, if you trust me on anything, trust me when I say you do not need to see this movie. This one's getting a 5 out of 10.
This guy.
I just don't want a real cane, I want one that's a snake.
Look at the shit pumping in his brain.
It's Mountain Dew. Oh, please make this possible. No! It's a fucking hole! You wanna just shoot the fuck out of him? Wait, we can get a headshot. Oh fuck! No! No! God damn it! Oh fucking Jesus fucking Christ! I don't give a shit anymore!